Well, Virginia, you could probably relate to this, having a teenage daughter. I don't think that your daughter Magnolia, though, was dating a 24-year-old when she was 17, though, right?
No, that would have been a whole different set of problems.
Yeah, you probably might have inserted yourself into that.
Yeah, and then there would have been, legal ramifications because, I don't know.
17 in Florida is not legal.
I hear you. Okay. Well, this email says, my teenage daughter's dating somebody who's 24. Now, I don't really care about an age gap among adults in relationships, but when it's your high school daughter, it's a big time different story. And unfortunately for me, I watch a lot of those investigation and true crime shows, and I'm always thinking the worst. Plus, I've noticed a few red flags, and it's only been a few weeks. She's 17. She still lives under my roof. But I'm afraid that if I approach her the wrong way, I'm going to push her further away or worse, right into his arms. And I need a little guidance on how I approach this, between how heavy-handed, how I discuss this. Is there a punishment that goes with this? If Magnolia at 17 were dating a 24-year-old, how do you handle this, Virginia?
Family therapy. I probably would have tried to get the professionals involved. I probably would have got law enforcement involved because I don't think that's appropriate. That's too big of an age gap, and he's old enough to drink. She's still in high school. There's just so many learning and development years between 17 and 24. It wouldn't have been cool with me.
Chris Hansen, can you have a seat here, son? You got to call Chris Hansen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you take it to family therapy. What if that doesn't resolve anything and she is still seeing this 24-year-old?
I mean, it's actually probably a nightmare for you as a parent because you're just going to be twisted all the time, worried all the time. Mm-hmm. Every time she's not home when she's supposed to be, you're like, oh, great, she's with him, this 24-year-old full-grown-ass man.
Would you not go down the path of saying, just to let you know, this relationship is deemed to be illegal in the state of Florida and you cannot have it? And if you do, then I will be letting the authorities know. Would you take that approach at all?
If I wasn't getting anywhere, yeah.
Okay, so therapy first, and then if it continues on, then you say, okay, we've had this conversation, and you know how I feel about it. This is not going to happen now, unfortunately. I'm going to have to get a little bit more serious about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be afraid to do that.
So under no circumstances would you allow this relationship to continue on?
Not when she's 17.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when she's over 18, she can rekindle this relationship with him and make good choices. But as long as she's still in high school, she shouldn't be dating anybody who's 24 years old.
Okay. All right, I see what you're saying here. I think this is really kind of it. You know, when you have teenagers, been through it, it's just what do you let them do at what age? You know, and I think that, hey, look, if your state deems it to be illegal, then you should probably just follow the laws of the land, right?
There you go.
Makes it easier.
That makes it so much easier on you as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
To say, look, it's the law for a reason.
Right. Now, somebody else here has a 14-year-old who lost their best friend in a car accident, and they're deeply distraught with it. And now the 14-year-old son wants to get a memorial tattoo of their friend. Apparently, they had talked about getting these matching tattoos back in the day, and his friend has passed before they were able to do it, but he wants to go on ahead and get the tattoo to remember him by. Now, my 14-year-old is having a hard time with this, and I'm all about anything that will help him out in his mental health through this journey, but I just don't think a tattoo at the age of 14 is the right move. Would you allow this, Virginia?
This one's tricky because, you can get these things lasered off now. And so if this 14-year-old is really hurting and in pain and trying to figure out a way to get through his grief of losing his friend, I don't know. I might let him get it and then just say, look, if you ever change your mind, I will also go with you to get it lasered off.
But it's a giant cobra face with big old fangs.
On your face.
It's a face tat. It's a cobra.
Well, his friend's name was Snake.
Yeah, that was his nickname.
Yes, I'd say, without a doubt, the face tattoo is out of the question.
Like, yeah, Mom, you agree. And then the kid comes home. He's got a face tat.
R.I.P. Snake.
Yeah, rest in peace, hiss.
Now, Ann does have a point here saying, laser is expensive and very painful.
Yeah, and so you have to explain that to your 14-year-old and say, look, this is a big deal. This is something that's really going to hurt you when you go to get this removed. But
And people will tattoo your kid that's underage. Believe me, I've seen it happen before. No, I wasn't there to see it happen, but
I paid for it.
I have heard of cases, and then the kid's like, "Yeah, I got a tattoo," and they were underage.
Julia said no reputable tattoo artist will ink a 14-year-old.
Somebody will ink a kid up. They will. You can.
There's no laws on that.
Money talks, baby.
Is there a law on when a kid can get a tattoo in the state of Florida?
I think it's up to the parents' consent.
Okay.
I thought, but then again, I don't have kids. I actually don't know nothing about the law or tattoos.
Is it 18 if you don't have a parent? Is that how it is?
You got to be 18, yeah.
Okay. Without the parent, but the parent could give you the permission. And if that's the case, I would not be giving the permission. To me, I'm like, things of permanence, wait until you're 18. Then you can make all the decisions you want. But we got to get to that 18-year-old.
I know.
mark.
I agree with you. I'm at the core, I wouldn't want him to get it, but it's no longer a permanent thing because of laser removal technology.
It's really painful, though. It really is. Kevin's not lying about that. And I
know. I've seen it done. I've seen it. It cooks the skin. Like, literally, your flesh is, like, burning off.
But let's say your kid was. I mean, losing a best friend is one of the roughest things you could ever go through.
At the age of 14, that is rough.
And let's say your kid was so distraught, and the only thing that brought the kid joy was the tattoo. Does that change anything at all as a parent?
Not for me. I would find other ways to be like, let's find another way to get your joy, and we could take that same design. I'll get you a great painting of it or whatever we got to do until you get to be 18, and then you can look forward to it. And when you're old enough to make that decision on your own, then you make that decision on your own.
Then you can get that Cobra face tat.
That's right. Hey, it's the problem when your kids turn 18. They get to do what they want to do.
The cobra head is on your cheek, but the neck, the body of the snake is on your neck.
Yeah, it wraps around. All the way around. Then you can see the end of the tail. I love it.
It's gorgeous.
87% of people in KVJ TV would not allow their 14-year-old to get a tattoo. It's a pretty big number.
But 13%, man, they're in that ink community.
They are in that ink community, baby. Yep.
This is how we do. It's the KVJ Show.